He's a centre-back who plays out on left. And against Mariners, he was almost inverting and heading into the midfield. What have you made of the way he's developed?
Yeah, look, I think for Chiefy, he's probably found a really good one. I think it was about getting him a few minutes at the start of the season. Weren't sure, is he up to the level? I spoke about it in comms on the sideline. Looks like there's a lot of mismatches with Kelly Hill. He doesn't look sharp enough. He has come on leaps and bounds, and it was, you know, when you asked Scotty about him there, you could see a big smile on his face. He's obviously got a lot of time for the young lad, and I think Chiefy's very happy with his development, as are the players, and you can see how confident they are in him at the moment.
And he's sneaky skillful as well. He can beat a player, I think.
Like I said, he's so composed and he never looks bothered, and he almost glides past you. And that's difficult for wingers. They look at this guy who's 6'4", 6'5". He shouldn't be able to move like that, but he can.
He doesn't look like he should be able to move the ball and pass the ball like he does. But it's wonderful for such a young player to demonstrate that sort of confidence, playing out from the back, the technical ability in a 1v1. And Goran, let's not forget that he's 18.
Yeah,
he's got another under-20 World Cup. He's got 2 more Olympics in him. He's a player that we can expect to be in the game for a long time.
A lot of positives, but if I'm nitpicking, if there's one negative, it's why is Lucas Kelly-Heald at 1.98 m, taking the corners on the left wing side. Surely you weaponise that giant and you put him in the box, mate.
Well, how many corners have we had this year? 63, 64?
How many have we scored from?
None.
No.
So maybe Chiefy's doing a rotation policy, and it was just his go. So it'll be on to the next this week. Look, I don't think he's great at attacking the ball. He's 18 years old. That's something that you can get better at. I think he's got a decent left foot. Get him out there, swinging him in. Did a decent job last week. It'll be interesting to see if he's doing the same again today.
Yeah, look, it's not our place to tell Chiefy how to do his job. He's doing it bloody well right here, right now. Top of the league, don't you know? As we take a look at their opposition today, Western United, a bit going on with their 11. No Tomoki Imai, who's out through illness, and he didn't travel. It means a first club appearance for James Donaghy. He plays in the heart of defence alongside Kane Vidmar. That's Tony's son. Ben Garuccio isn't fit, so Zach Lisolajski earns his first start at left back. Daniel Pena is their leading goal scorer with 3. He's produced 62 shots this campaign, the second most of any player in the competition. And if there's a walking, talking yellow card, it's Josh Risdon, the captain. The right back has 7 in 13 appearances. John Aloisi is the coach. He's in the tunnel with Piney.
Well, John, you're here with fewer points than I think most people thought you should have. Have you been able to analyse why the points haven't been as free-flowing for you this year?
Little details really have let us down, because we've been playing well, you know, deserved more out of a lot of their games, but the details that they've hurt us, and but it's good learnings for a lot of our younger players. We've got a very young squad this year. Today again we've got some of our young players, 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds leading the line, so it's a good experience for them. Yes, we would love more points, but we'll look to turn that round.
Are those details coachable? Are you able to coach those details and improve them?
Yeah, you can coach them, and you can also explain to players, you know, certain times in games, you know, certain situations. If it's a corner for us, and how you can stop that counter. I think last time we played Wellington, they caught us on the counter when it was a corner for us, and we ended up losing the game 1-0 after dominating the majority of the game. So they're things that you can coach and players have to learn from.
And you still believe you've got the quality in the playing group to really, you know, make a go of it over the last 10 or 11 games of the season?
Yeah, we've still got 13 games left. We've got a couple in hand, so we'll make a go of it. We've shown that over the last few weeks that, you know, we were 2-0 down against Sydney FC. Like, decisions didn't go for us in that game, and the players didn't give up, kept on going, ended up drawing the game 2-2, could have won it at the end. But that's the fight that we need to show. In today's conditions, we need to show that fight. It's going to be tough, but for both teams, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
All the best today.
Thanks.
Aloisi's Western may be bottom, but let's not kid ourselves. They are a very real threat to the Phoenix. Why? Well, Exhibit A, you point to round 7 of this campaign, Jacob Spoonley, at Sky Stadium. The Wellington Phoenix against the Newcastle Jets. The Knicks at this stage, unbeaten through the first 6 rounds. The Jets, they were the worst defensive team in the competition. Andy Harper said they were flat as a pancake. They turn up and do this.
Yeah, that's right, and the Phoenix have the best home form in the competition. So for Newcastle to show up and do this, it gives a template to the other teams. And I think it also continued a trend that was established last year. The Phoenix dropped 13 points against the bottom 4 sides. And that's something, I think, that speaks to them having to deal with expectation and taking these games to their opponent and asserting themselves.
Yeah, I think Chiefy would have looked at that and he knows that they can't be complacent now. It's a whole different ball game, top of the table. They've had clashes, you know, all over the season where they've got to be absolutely on it, and I think today is one of them where he'll have them ready.
And if Western wanted to look at their own history to pump up their tyres ahead of this fixture, look no further than last season, round 6. Western United only 1 point through the first 5 rounds. They come to Sky Stadium. They are 2-0 down on the hour, and then it's the late show. And this from Diamante, Ify, was absolute class.
But I think that's exactly what they're missing. You talk Aloisi, yeah. You heard Aloisi in the interview there. He's talking about the young players leading the line, 19, 20, 21. Diamante, one of the best that's played in this league. You've got Prijovic, who I think is one of the best forwards that's been in this league over the last sort of 4 or 5 seasons. You know, a big unit that they could do with today to try and, you know, go up against the likes of Kelly Hill and New Wootons. They haven't got that platform that they probably need.
We're counting down to kick-off on Sky Sport. It's our 1v12 top v bottom clash in A-League men's action from Sky Stadium to Whanganui-Atara. We'll address the wind. It's windy here in Wellington. What a surprise. And how the two teams approach this one next, live on Sky Sport. No, my Hawkeye Mike, great to have you with us in windy Wellington. Summer in Wellington, they said, eh? Yeah, it's cold, it's windy, it's gale force, I'd say, and a guy who's played in these conditions before stands alongside myself and Jacob Spoonley, Paul Eiffel. These sorts of conditions for the players out there, how do you have to adjust your game plan for them?
Yeah, look, there won't be too many crossfield diagonals from the players today. It's that windy that the ball's going to move on the deck. We've seen that a few times at this stadium. For the players, I think it's a good thing, though, because the Australians don't like this. I remember standing in that tunnel a few times, and you'd look across, and they were thinking, I don't fancy this. I remember Lloyd Owusu at Adelaide. He said to me, Ives, how do you play in this every week? And I thought, right, we've got you. And we duly went and beat them, and they didn't really fancy it. It's not that bad today because there's not much rain around. I hope that comes as well. But certainly the home players will be more used to this, and it'll be better for them.
Just briefly, Spoon, how do the two teams approach this? The Phoenix, 3 games in 8 days. For Western, 3 games in the last month.
I think for the Phoenix, it comes down to the returning Nico Pennington and Mohamed Altay. They're going to bring so much energy to this midfield, so look to get them on the ball nice and early. For Western, they need to catch a rhythm, and they need to take some inspiration from their last 2 performances, which have meant a lot tighter results.
The Phoenix are unbeaten in their last 6. The Western United side, well, they haven't had a victory in their last 6. They are poles apart on the A-League ladder. It should be straightforward. It should be simple enough for the Phoenix. However, recent results suggest football is anything but. Can Western win for just the 3rd time this campaign? Or will the Phoenix move 5 points clear of the chasing pack? An intriguing 90 minutes awaits. Matchday commentary with Jason Pine is next on Sky.
A-Leagues are go. The 19th A-League men's competition. This could seal it. Wouldn't you know it? Unbelievable.
The celebrations, there they are.
Talk about a grandstand finish.
Well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The fairy tale is complete. The Central Coast Mariners, champions of Australia.
Football has a habit of producing contrasting storylines from week to week, from round to round, from day to day. After 3 straight top-of-the-table A-League men's clashes, a very different scenario faces Wellington Phoenix today. They welcome the side at the other end of the competition ladder. Bottom-placed Western United, down on their luck, but with no shortage of talent and a couple of game breakers, the equal of anyone in the competition. Victory for Wellington today would extend their lead at the top. A win for Western United would be their second here on the bounce and revive their flagging fortunes. And if this season has taught us anything, it's that nothing is certain or guaranteed when it comes to this competition. Welcome to Sky Stadium for round 16 action in the Isuzu Ute A-League men's. Wellington Phoenix v Western United live here on Sky Sport. And it's a blustery old day, as you saw in our pre-game. Nor'west is around 31 kilometres an hour. That might be a little bit pessimistic on behalf of our weather graphics team. Former Phoenix and All Whites goalkeeper Jacob Spoonley alongside in commentary. When you play the side at the bottom of the table and you're at the top of the table, what approach should you be taking?
Kia ora, Piney. Kia ora, everybody. Well, what a great way to kick off the A-League men's Saturday coverage for the third time in 8 days. We get to witness the Phoenix take the pitch. Put simply, Piney, they are looking to affirm their aspirations to remain top of the table for the foreseeable future. They can also land a very significant psychological blow by extending the lead to 5 ahead of an important MacArthur versus Melbourne match later on today. But do not be fooled by the table. Western have enough to worry their hosts. They'll be motivated to turn perseverance into points.
Here come the two teams onto the grass, a 15-minute delay in kick-off, and I'll let you know the reason why, and I swear I am not making this up. Western United arrived here in Wellington with only the strip that they're wearing at the moment, the green and black, the dark strip. Wellington Phoenix earlier in the week had elected and communicated that they would wear their dark strip today. The clash would not have worked, so a Phoenix staff member had to drive the 30 kilometres to Upper Hutt, where the team's base is, to pick up the yellow kit. And that is what Wellington will wear today. This league just keeps on delivering to its fans and its participants. Wellington Phoenix all in gold today, and Western United in their dark strip. 2 changes to the Phoenix 11 that started Tuesday's goalless draw with Central Coast. Nicholas Pennington returns from suspension. Mo Elte is back from injury. Ben Old and Oscar Van Haddam drop to the bench. The centre-back pair of Finn Sermon and Scott Wootton and goalkeeper Alex Paulson have played every minute of the season so far. 2 changes for Western United as well from the side that started last Saturday's 2-2 draw with Sydney FC in Hobart. Tomoki Imai is unwell. Ben Garuccio is injured. They haven't made the trip. In come James Donaghy for his long-awaited Western United debut, and Zach Lizalewski, who makes his first start at left-back in the 36 jumper. Potential debuts for Western United's Charbel Shamoun on his 20th birthday, and Gabriel Sloan Rodriguez for Wellington Phoenix, 5 months short of his 17th birthday. Adam Bavkar is our referee, just his 5th A-League men's match. And that little champion helping out with the coin toss is 8-year-old Corey Wallace. It was his birthday last week. He's travelled all the way from Palmerston North. His dad, Matt, is there with him. Corey Wallace, his 2 Phoenix, or favourite Phoenix players, are the 2 Alexes. So he's getting to meet one of his heroes today in Alex Rufer. Alex Paulson is his other favourite. What a little champion he is. Corey Wallace, our coin toss kid today. English striker David Ball in the midst of the longest goal-scoring drought in his senior football career. 31 games since he last found the net, but his contribution to the Phoenix goes far beyond scoring goals. Game 112 today for Wellington, drawing them level with club legend Tim Brown. James Donaghy has joined Western United in the off-season and finally debuts today after recovering from a calf injury. He's had time at Brisbane, at Melbourne Victory, and Sydney FC, and time offshore. Today is game 174 in the A-League men's for him. Giancarlo Italiano continues to reiterate that every game is the same for his side. This one no different to the last, even though the opponents are at the opposite end of the ladder. The man known as Chief says the aim stays the same. 3 points, regardless of the opposition. John Aloisi has just 5 wins and 21 outings as head coach against Wellington. One of his current assistants, who unfortunately hasn't travelled today, is a familiar face here in Wellington. The Phoenix's all-time leading appearance maker, Andrew Durante, is one of John Aloisi's assistants. Off we go at Sky Stadium as 1 plays 12. The top of the table, Wellington Phoenix, attacking the goal to left of screen in the all-gold strip against bottom-placed Western United in the black and green. Wellington undefeated in their last 6 and can open up a temporary 5-point gap on the chasing pack with victory here this afternoon. By contrast, it's been slim pickings for Western United this season. Just 2 wins and 8 points collected through 14 matches. They did, though, win on their last visit here. A sensational 90th minute free kick from Alessandro Diamanti, giving them a 3-2 victory from 2-0 down in round 6 last season, and they were bottom of the table going into that match as well. The wind, as has been mentioned, likely to play a part today. What will that do to the way Wellington in particular, Jacob, look to play their small ball, play out from the back? Will it in any way make them a bit reluctant to do that? I guess we're about to find out.
Well, I think with the wind, with the conditions, it emphasised the importance of control of the ball. Been absolutely clinical in all of the small moments. There is the compounding impact that the wind will have, which is for any ball broken in behind, or in behind for a player to break on, it could sit up or it could skid through tiny.
You might have noticed Božidar Krajev wearing number 49 today, normally 11. I think 11 on his shorts, 49 on his back as he gets it now. That's a result of the late kit change. There he is in 49, Božidar Krajev. I'd have to check, but I think that's the first time anyone's worn 49 for Wellington.
Could be a change in number depending on how he plays today. We do know that the Phoenix are a rather...
Hold that thought, Jacob, as Costa Barbarouses latches onto one across the 6-yard area. Here is Krajev, here is Pennington, and here's the first goal inside 3 minutes. Back from suspension, Božidar Krajev, different number, same technique. Wellington lead early at Sky Stadium.
Well, inside 2 minutes, Yellow Fever are brought to their feet. The question was, how would the Phoenix be able to manage 3 games in 8 days? Not standard for the A-League. And boy, have they started. They've got out the gates early. We see the ball down the line. Tim Payne then finds the into-out run from David Ball. And Costa Barbarouses, as he did on Tuesday, fires that ball across the box to that man, number 49, and he plays it back inside to the returning Nico Pennington. He's off the mark for the year.
Well, Nico Pennington only has 2 A-League men's goals. His previous goal was scored in about the 99th minute a couple of seasons ago. This one's very early. Paul Eiffel, what'll that do to the Wellington Phoenix levels of confidence as they score nice and early? I guess it'll settle the nerves in many respects.
That's certainly what Cheapy would have wanted. A great start against the team at the bottom of the table. There's a lot of energy down here. I think he was onto him to get into him early. I don't think he was expecting that sort of start, but great play. Opened him up down the right-hand side, and there's a great ball from David Ball, and then the fantastic run from Pennington. Doesn't get the first one, but he's still in there to mop up the bits. Really good start down here.
Western United looking to bounce back straight away through Pena. He is their most dangerous attacking threat. Thought he was fouled on the edge. Just a throw. Daniel Pena giving the referee a stern look. Back on the ball now, though, Daniel Pena. Great to see him. The Brazilian back in the A-League men's. Spent 20, 21, 22 with Newcastle. There he is again on the ball, Daniel Pena. He lines up the shot. Alex Paulson saw it coming from a long way out.
Well, he's a man that likes to shoot. He's been prolific in terms of taking opportunities, but perhaps profligate in terms of converting them. I think it's only 1 goal to every 20 shots he's taken so far this season, Jason Pine. And just to return to the point, before my brain switched off, superstitious. The Wellington Phoenix coaching staff incredibly superstitious. So as Božidar Krajev has started in such effective manner, he could be converting to the number 49 off the back of this 90 minutes, Jason.
That's a great point, actually. Giancarlo Italiano, one of the more superstitious coaches going around. If this ends up well for Wellington, Božidar Krajev may well be having a mid-season switch of number from 11 to 49. Wellington Phoenix have now scored first 9 times this season, going on to win 6 and draw 2 of the previous 8. This is the 11th time Western United have gone 1-0 down. They've won 1, drawn 1 and lost 8 of the previous 10. In their favour, plenty of time. And they came from behind here last year. 2-0 behind to win it 3-2. Vidmar and Donaghy at either end of the experience scale, the centre-back pairing for Western United. It's broken up in midfield, and here it's the goal scorer, Pennington. Michael Roos adjudged to have fouled Pennington.
As we pause for the free kick, I think it's important to note that the Phoenix need to reset, need to treat this as a 0-0 from this point on. Here we go, here's the free kick. Roos trying to step across Nico Pennington there, only gets the Wellington Phoenix player. The Phoenix, when they have established a lead, when they have created a margin, there's a tendency to turn conservative, and that cannot be the case here. As you said, Piney, they were punished for doing that at 2-0 up last season. Now they need to keep the foot on the accelerator.
For their part, Western United looking for a way back quickly. Pena again on the ball. He's been the most prominent in the attacking third for the visitors so far, and takes the ball away again, leaving a man on the ground, Rufer. He's getting back to his feet, so that's good news. Just holding that right knee, Alex Rufer. Okay to continue, Barbarousis. Now David Ball. David Ball's a man for all occasions, a bit of a jack of all trades. He pops up and fills in wherever he's needed. The goal-scoring drought I mentioned pre-game, Ify. I know it plays on the minds of attackers. 31 games without a goal. That's a long drought for David Ball.
Yeah, look, I think he just needs to bring something else. The goals are going to come. He's scored goals most of his career. He's never been prolific, so I don't think it will bother him too much. It'd be nice to, want to go in off some body part that we won't mention and get him started. But I think, here he gets in the ball in nice little pockets, brings others into play, and I think that's all he can do at the moment. And all the stuff he does off the ball is keeping him in the team. And obviously Cheapy's happy enough with him in there. So I would just hope it turns for him sooner rather than later.
He definitely sets standards in terms of work rate and energy within this Phoenix team.
Barbarousis seizes onto this one. Western United back in numbers. Here's Krajev. Might think about a shot, instead gives it to David Ball in the penalty arc. Ute still looking for his first A-League men's goal. Patient from Wellington. Tim Payne back from that 2-game ban on Tuesday against Central Coast. Did a pretty good job, along with the rest of the defensive unit, of keeping a very, very attack-minded Central Coast Mariners side at bay. Second meeting of the season between these two. A Ben Old goal in round 6 gave Wellington a 1-0 win on that occasion. Johnny Luisi up off his bench, issuing instructions. Kelly Heald seizes upon it again. Lucas Kelly Heald. It's that languid style you were talking about pre-game. He doesn't seem to have the ability to hold on to the ball sometimes, and still manages to do that. Here's Payne. Few yellow shirts to aim at in the area. Hewitt Bell with a punch away. A bit uncertain in the Wellington win, but it all turned out okay for Western United. Michael Roos can't control. And a foul on Božidar Krajev from Seb Pasquale.
In the build-up to that, I think we saw a snapshot of what Western United are this season. Look at the names on the page. The front four that they've got has enough to rival most squads in the competition, but at times you feel like they've been playing very individually. What we saw there is Roos trying to break forward. He had Bodic further forward. Could have tried to release his fellow striker, but instead charged into a cul-de-sac, and the Phoenix were able to tidy it up rather efficiently.
You're right about the front four. You look at Pena, at Roos, at Botic, at Wales. Good A-League attackers. And John Aloisi at times must have been at a bit of a loss to understand how his team hasn't been able to accumulate more points. He said before the game, it is moments. It's moments in games.
I think that explained the difference between the two sides in Ballarat earlier in the season. The Phoenix survived in moments. They defended well, but Botic hit the post, asked two questions of Alex Paulson, and he came up with the answers. And then the Phoenix hit them on the counter-attack, a late counter punch, and the margins were fine then. Ben Old barely onside, and that was the difference between the two sides that day, but it did mean that the Phoenix took all 3 points, leaving Western with nothing.
Josh Risdon unable to control there. Good to see him in the game, though. Went off injured last week. In fact, 3 Western United players, Josh Risdon, Ben Garuccio and Connor O'Toole, all had to leave the field injured last week. O'Toole and Garuccio haven't been deemed fit to travel. Josh Risdon, though, is there, bringing his 253 games now of A-League men's experience to this side.
I think the other thing to note that's perhaps lacking in this Western United side, that was really part of their DNA under Aloisi, is the defensive structure. Where they have been frugal in the past, they're now generous. They have already conceded more goals this season than they did in their championship year in 21-22.
Yeah, clean sheets have been very, very hard to come by for Western United. In fact, they're yet to keep one this season, and that will continue today. David Ball sets off, as does Tim Payne ahead of him. Phoenix will recycle through midfield. Wharton has stepped into midfield. Kelly Heald, that's a heavy touch from him, and this time it is taken away from him. Pennington in and wins it back for Wellington, and then runs straight into Josh Risdon, who gives away the free kick. Right on the snarls for Nico Pennington.
Well, that was heavy contact. Josh Risdon made sure he won the ball as it was bouncing around, but ensured that he collected Nico Pennington at the same time. Comes about from a poor touch from Lucas Kelly-Heald. Nico Pennington, all energy up off the back of the first challenge, and bang, straight into the second.
Well, 7 yellow cards already this season for Josh Risdon, so another one. 8 is the threshold for a 2-game ban. He's already served the 1-game ban for 5. 1 more and he misses the next 2 matches. So Nico Pennington back on his feet and ready to address this free kick situation. Huge throng of players on the edge of the penalty area. Kelly Heald actually gives it the contact, and Finn Sermon arriving at the far post. I think it almost arrived unexpectedly at the right foot of Finn Sermon. Another still looking for his first A-League men's goal.
Lucas Kelly-Heald with the delivery into that back post area. Off a deflection, falls to Sermon. Just asking too much of him to get that one on target.
This is Zach Lizolajski, starting debut, having come off the bench in the last 2 games, the 18-year-old. Gets the left-back assignment today with the aforementioned Garuccio and O'Toole unable to travel. Adam Bavcaro refereed today, just his 5th A-League men's match, first visit to Wellington. Vidmar, centre-back, one of the more famous names in Australian football, son of Tony, nephew of Melbourne City boss Aurelio Vidmar. 19-year-old Kane playing his 7th A-League men's match today in 22.
He's done well so far. Looks composed, doesn't seem to be fazed by the level. Doing well to personally navigate what I can imagine has been a challenging introduction to life at Western United.
Yeah, signed on a scholarship contract in July. They've got high hopes for Kane Vidmar at the football club. Here's Rufer. Pennington. Barbarouses has come out left. He's in a tight area and can't get the ball out of it. And Whistle has gone for a free kick in Wellington's favour. Costa Barbarouses, who was on a goal-scoring tear earlier in the season.
Well, that's fairly indicative of how things have started. First 15 minutes, the Wellington Phoenix, 70 passes in the opponent's half. Up against Western United. The mere 16. Just a touch on how they're getting there. The Wellington Phoenix employed a 4-3-2-1 structure, probably better known as the Christmas tree, in Ballarat earlier in the season up against Western United. Defensively sound that day, but today probably been employed to draw out the fullbacks from Western United's back line to then send a runner, either a fullback or one of the midfielders, it seems. Nico Pennington in particular, very busy making advanced runs at the moment, and that seems to be the way the Wellington Phoenix are opening up Western United and pushing them back to secure those final third entries.
Rufer and Kraev combined, but it breaks down in midfield for Wellington. Alex Paulson with a rare touch in the first quarter hour. Happy to stick with the plan this season of playing it out from the back. Good, precise, slick, crisp passing from Wellington. Even in the wind dive, is it playing as much of a part down there as you thought it might?
Yeah, look, it's difficult, but I think the Phoenix have done it well. The press is not quite right from Western, so it's allowing the Phoenix to dominate possession. They're pretty comfortable, pretty confident, and I think if it carries on like this, Alois has got to make a change. He's got to do something. It's a very flat ball they're trying to press with, and I think the Phoenix are going to have a field day if they can carry on at this tempo. They're picking their times to play for the Lions. It's been pretty easy so far.
They do so again, and Costa Barbarouses is in the attacking third. Into the penalty area, he's going to get a second bite at it, Costa Barbarouses. A number of yellow shirts there, including Pennington. Kelly Heald is advanced. Risdon brings it away for Western United, and that'll be a foul on Pena from Rufer. Pressure valve eased for Western United. Lizolajski into Botic, who's had not a lot of service in the first 17 minutes. Risdon.
Been watching him over the last 2 minutes, and Pena seems to have a free role in possession. He's been allowed to drift in off the starting point on the right flank. I think that's where he needs to play, Jason. He's been too peripheral at times this season for Western United, and in that free role, just being able to drift not only off the front line but across the field, that could be the way to get him on the ball, because he's such a dangerous player. We've seen a number of key passes that he's made in the recent fixtures.
He gets a shot away, that time Daniel Pena. And I think the best use of Daniel Pena is just that free roll that you outlined, Jacob. Just let him go wherever the fancy takes him and finding those pockets of space between the lines.
Especially when you've got willing runners in Wales, Roos and Botic.
Kelly Heald down the line. Stepping over it was Barbarouses. Nico Pennington has become Wellington's 7th goal scorer this season. That's fewer than anybody else in the competition. They've relied very heavily on half a dozen players to score their goals, so Nico Pennington opening his account early in this one. Božidar Kraev picking up some scraps, and David Ball, who's been heavily involved in the first 19 minutes, is again on the ball. Through to Barbarouses, who's in the area with Vidmar. Good tackle, really good tackle from Vidmar. That is top quality defending from the youngster.
When you've got the guile and intelligence of Costa Barbarouses, you need to be on your toes, and Vidmar did very well, timing that tackle to perfection.
8 goals for Costa Barbarouses this season. He leads Wellington's Golden Boot list.
And in that attack, we saw how the Phoenix want to get about Western United. Very direct, very confident in their ability to progress the ball efficiently forward.
Foul on Rufer by Thurgate. It's been the wars a little bit today, Alex Rufer.
David Ball on the ball, had Tim Payne outside, but finds Costa Barbarouses in between the lines, and the recovery challenge from young Kane Vidmar, demonstrating decision-making beyond his years.
Yeah, Dad Tony would have been proud of that challenge. Rufer untroubled by the latest knock that he took from Thurgate, and as part of the passing movement that has allowed Wellington to exit seamlessly from the back. Here's Payne. Now Ball into Tim Payne again. Tim Payne's in the area, slides it, well, tried to Pennington. Tim Payne's got a couple of goals this season. I thought he might have had the sniff of another shot in his nostrils then.
Well, Pasquale nullified that one, and he had to, because Nico Pennington was lining up a second for the Wellington Phoenix. Up in play, another intelligent pass from David Ball, and then Tim Payne unselfishly tries to find the Wellington Phoenix number 15.
He said yesterday when he was up for media, Tim Payne, that the lack of goals before the season wasn't any sort of monkey on his back, nothing that he was too concerned about. I don't know if that's true. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not.
I think you're speaking to the wrong person. Ify, what was your longest run without goals for the Wellington Phoenix?
Oh, God.
Not very long.
Yeah, not very long, Barney, you're right. No, look, probably 5 or 6 games, I think. But I didn't come into the team as a goal scorer. I lied on my CV and said I was a 9 when I was a winger, really. So they didn't find that out for a few weeks.
As a defender, though, whose brief was really at the other end of the field, everybody loves scoring goals. Getting up towards 100 games without one, would that have been playing on Tim Payne's mind at all?
No, I don't think so. The boys might give him a little bit of ribbon in training, but, you know, again, in training, he's probably scoring goals left, right and centre. He's a good footballer, he's a good finisher. Probably not getting in that many opportunities to score. Now he has. He probably wants to, you know, get himself quickly to 5 and then 10, so he'll be looking for them now moving forward. But, you know, I remember back in my time with the likes of Manny Muscat and people like that, it took game after game, and when they did score, it was a nice moment, but that's what they're not in the team for that. They've got other attributes and other things they can bring to the table.
Lots of intelligent points made well by Paul Eiffel. I'm just happy that the Wellington Phoenix have improved recruitment and analytics off the back of that.
I reckon Paul Eiffel might not have got a deal if they had better scouting reports back in 2009. Western United looking for a way back in. Nico Pennington has the game's only goal, scored in the 3rd minute. Pasquale, Barbarouses takes it off him just about, but here's Michael Roos. Roos is in the area, squares it back. Finn Sermon with an intervention which might prove crucial. Michael Roos ran pretty much unencumbered into Wellington's penalty area there, couldn't square it back to a teammate.
Well, 19-year-old Vidmar at one end, and then young Finn Sermon at the other. Very competent defending on display.
Foul that time by Lucas Kelly-Heald. This is a dangerous situation for Wellington Phoenix to defend, especially with the extra factor of the wind.
Another lovely slipped-in ball there. Pasquale, I think it is, that releases Roos, and there's a lot of danger in that moment. He can shoot, but ultimately he tries to find a teammate inside, but Finn Sermon comes up with the big challenge.
Well, this is the exact patch of grass, I think, from which Alessandro Diamanti scored the winner last season. It was almost exactly in that part of Sky Stadium. Ollie Sale was in goal that day. Daniel Pena, another left footer. Will he take inspiration from the iconic Italian? Or will it be Wales? It is going to be Pena! Off the crossbar. He nearly emulated Diamante's goal scoring from a year ago. Skimmed the crossbar and away to safety.
I think this is a save, Jason. That's what Daniel Pena is asking for. He hits that with venom. Nothing but air there. Alex Paulson beaten all ends up.
Spoons, I think he got his fingers to that. I really do. I don't like to give it to the keepers, but I think he got his fingers there.
Well, there you go. If Paul Eiffel is disagreeing with me about a save, then there must have been fractions in that. Absolute feather of finger touch.
Well, missed by the officials because a goal kick was given, but you got a good angle on it. Ifey down there. Stays 1-0 to Wellington, and Nico Pennington has his heels clipped. That might be a booking. And referee Adam Bavkar is surrounded by Western United players.
They need to be careful here. They're crowding out the referee. Clearly unhappy about a previous challenge. Pasquale goes into the book. David Ball tussling with Thurgate. There's a bit of shirt pulling going on there. And then that challenge from Nico Pennington. There's two. I think they're actually saying that it should have been a free kick on Thurgate because of the ball challenge.
Pasquale with his first yellow card of the season. I think you're absolutely right. They were complaining about the challenge by David Ball. I think they were okay with the Pennington one on Pasquale.
It's being played with energy and exuberance at the moment.
Ute sets Tim Payne away. Now, is he onside? It might not matter. As out of his penalty area comes Thomas Hewitt-Bell. Now, the flag is up for offside over there. So Tim Payne, well, he believed that he had stayed behind the last defender. Good use of the wind with the pass through. But Sarah Jones over there, adamant that Tim Payne came from an offside position.
There we go. Lovely ball from Mohamed Ute. Had weight on a lot of his passes this season. Hewitt-Bell. We don't have to make a call on it because it's redundant.
I think he's done all right. I think he's done all right. I mean, I'm no keeper. You're the expert there, but I think he's done pretty well to keep his hands away from that as he slid out of the penalty area. Western United are finding their way into this game. Wellington have kept 4 consecutive first half clean sheets, so they're good before half-time in terms of defending. And they might have some more to do here with Risdon across the front of Paulson's 6-yard area.
It was a tantalising delivery. Demanded intervention from Alex Paulson. Still relying on scraps somewhat, Western United. Only 30% of the possession so far.
Ute just about gives that away to Pena, who's chasing after it, but Pojdar Crive has stepped in, and they'll go back the other way towards Payne, but here's it taken away from him by Zalewski. No Tomoki Umai in central defence for Western United today. He's been an ever-present. This is through to Barbarouses. He's going to latch onto it, Costa. What about the finish? Another good piece of defending. Might have been Vidmar again, was it?
It was the youngster at that time going toe-to-toe with Costa Barbarouses, denying him his 9th goal of the season.
Well, Trooper takes it away from Lachie Wales. Well, Kane Vidmar is very quickly demonstrating that he's a pretty accomplished sort of a defender. Twice now he's made crucial tackles in Western United's penalty area.
He's been exasperated by the fact that, as Paul Eiffel noted, that Western United are trying to press the Phoenix, disrupt them through the middle of the park, and they're releasing their fullbacks, which means that more often than not, Donaghy and Vidmar are being left to try and keep Barbarouses and ball quiet.
They've got to try and keep Costa quiet again now. Again, it's Vidmar who's gone across. Again, he's done pretty well, but Costa's got it back. Bouncing around in the penalty area, and Western United haven't been able to clear. Ute, ball into the arms of Hewitt Bell.
Well, they're knocking on the door with frequency at the moment, trying to convert one goal lead into 2. As you said, Jason, if a demonstration of the impact of the wind on this game, just look at how Western United are maintaining a high line, but the Phoenix, a great deal of freedom, can almost just clip the ball over the top, knowing that it's going to stand up. It won't go through to Hewitt Bell.
Yeah, they've used that tactic a couple of times in the last 5 minutes or so. One for Payne, one for Costa Barbarouses. Kenya can't control. Rufer flies in. No one forward for Wellington at the moment. Wales has come across to the right-hand side to try and make an impact. Risdon. Wales. Botic. And back to Wales. In towards Roos. Finn Sermon wins the header, but only as far as Thurgate. So Western United just starting to mount a bit of a case here.
Starting to string together moments, aren't they? Look at that Ruse burst into the box. The Tenya free kick. A couple of dangerous deliveries down this right-hand side by Wales and Risdon.
Michael Roos can't quite control that one. He's enjoying a run on the side, Michael Roos. He started, or has started, just 12 of his 61 matches in the A-League men's. 4 of those have been the last 4 games. So Michael Roos getting a run up top for Western United. Risdon looks long. He looks for the run of Michael Roos. He uses his physicality to good effect against Scott Wootton. Thought that took a nick off Wootton. What does the assistant referee say? Mark Rawls says yes. Dead right. That came off you last, Scott Wootton.
Wootton's pleading his case, saying that it came off Roos twice. Corner taken quickly.
Pasquale. Now Wales inviting ball into the penalty area, away by Kelly Heald. Vidmar and Uzulaiski, the 2 youngsters over there, combining. Pena. Wojciech Krajev with the tackle. Riston's going to come across and mop up, and he does it just about, although Krajev flying in and wins possession. Pennington's pass is a bit wasteful.
Phoenix have coiled there to spring forward off the back of some loose play. Started with Tenya.
A cheap foul by Pennington on Lachie Wales. 95th game today for Western United, Lachie Wales. Behind only Connor Payne and Tomoki Imai in the green and black of Western United. Uzulaiski can't find Botic. What sort of sense are you getting from Giancarlo Italiano down there, Ify, with 10 minutes to go until half-time?
Yeah, I don't think he's as happy as he was. I think Western are definitely getting back into the game, but I think it's come off the back of a few misplaced passes from the Phoenix rather than anything that Western are doing particularly well. They look pretty comfortable in allowing Western to have the ball. I think his ball's coming into the box with the likes of Sermon and Wootton to defend him from those wide areas. I think he's happy enough with that. I think he wants him to be a little bit better on the ball.
Phoenix know there's time and space, there's suggestions of opportunities further forward, but Ify's right. A bit of self-infliction in terms of progressing that ball forward at the moment. We saw a couple of loose passes in the space of 2 minutes there from Nico Pennington.
He's on the ball again, Pennington. Sermon and Wootton, the ever-present centre-back pair for the home side. Wootton very much the senior partner. And Sermon continuing to make a good case for higher honours, more whites, and the Olympic side later in 2024 as well. There's another who might be in that discussion, Lucas Kelly-Heald. Roosters can't control, and Western United might break here, and they will through Botic. And there'll be a free kick back in the centre circle for a foul on Tenya.
And Risdon races in to ask the question about why that one wasn't a yellow card.
Western United get us going quickly. Thurgate. Vidmar. And captain Josh Risdon. Josh Risdon does tend to play nice and high as a right fullback for Western United. He's in the top 10 in the competition for attempted passes in the opposition half, which gives you an idea of how attack-minded he is down Western United's right-hand side.
Does have a goal and an assist to his name so far this season. Considering the low number that Western have scored, it's a decent proportion.
Yep, just the 13 goals in 14 matches so far for Western United. That's by far the fewest in the competition. Daniel Pena, their leading scorer, with 3.
No players in the top 20 goal scorers list, or those that have created the most assists. If you look at expected goals, Piney, it makes for some troubling reading. Minus 10.7.
Sweeping move here from Wellington. Is there an end product as Cryer brings it forward? Kelly-Heald ahead of him. Pennington inside. They're calling for it on the far post. Here's Tim Payne. It's just going to drift too high for Tim Payne, and a little apology there from Pennington.
We actually had 2 runners there. Nico Pennington gets well to get himself in a pocket, head up, tries to find the back post. He's got Tim Payne and Costa Barbarouses. And that was all about the pass. Did not find either of its marks.
Another free kick for Western United. Daniel Pena is again the man fouled. Wellington not necessarily in total agreement with Adam Bavkar that time. Adam Bavkar wants the free kick taken again, perhaps from the correct position. Risdon combining with Roos, and now Lockie Wales, first time cross attempted into the midriff of Lucas Kelly-Heald for a Western United throw. They take it quickly, they're keen to get going.
This combination has opened up the Wellington Phoenix a couple of times. Roos, Wales and Risdon.
I like Lockie Wiles over on the right-hand side. He's trying to get past Lucas Kelly-Heald, but referee Bavkar had a pretty good view of that and decided there was nothing untoward.
Going to have to disagree with the referee there. Lucas Kelly-Heald simply steps across Lockie Wiles. Good intricate passing again, and nowhere near the ball. Lucas Kelly-Heald simply takes out the player right on the edge of the box as well.
Angus Thurgate does the same thing, and Western United want to know why that was a foul and the other one wasn't. Angus Thurgate making exactly that point to Adam Bavkar, and I think he's probably got a point. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Wellington having scored early, haven't been able to increase that lead. Just the 3 attempts each and 1 on target each. Here come Western United again. Pena is on the ball. Moel Tay makes a pretty important tackle and then wins the ball back for Wellington. He's been pretty good in the engine room, Moel Tay.
He's been great when we've seen him in there for the Wellington Phoenix. So tenacious. Combines it with intelligence on the ball. What's noticeable is that Western United is sitting off. Now, they're slightly deeper. They're not engaging the Wellington Phoenix and chasing them into the midfield. The Phoenix haven't adjusted yet. There needs to be a recalibration here because they're expecting that space to be there. Try and pull a Western United defender out. There's a lot more discipline on display in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
You see Moel Tay, top of screen, has dropped into that right back spot, which he tends to do a bit to release Tim Payne further forward. It's one of Giancarlo Italiano's favourite little tactical layers to his team. He likes his fullbacks nice and high.
It's really noticeable down the right-hand side. There's a great understanding between Payne and Mohamed Al Tay. Payne taking up high positions. We see him there now, allowed to do so. The licence is provided by Mohamed Al Tay.
And forward towards Barbarouses. Vidmar is there again and again, does a pretty good job. Vidmar of holding up one of the league's most experienced strikers.
And again, it's that in-to-out run. Barbarouses starting centrally and then looking to dart in behind the fullbacks. Didn't get the shot, but I believe it was Vidmar again, Piney.
313th A-League men's game for Costa Barbarouses. Kane Vidmar in game number 7. But on 3 occasions now, he's had the better defensively of the All Whites international. John Aloisi will be very pleased with the way that Kane Vidmar has shackled Barbarouses in particular in these key moments. Here's Wales. Pasquale. Now Thurgate. A rare foray forward for James Donaghy.
One player we haven't seen much of is young Bodic. Very busy over the last couple of games against Sydney and Western Sydney. Prominent the last time these two sides met.
Another player with big raps, Noah Bodic, the 22-year-old striker. You're right, Jacob, we haven't seen a lot of him in the first 43 minutes.
Player that's definitely embodied that perseverance that's been key for John Aloisi's side this year. Only been blown out twice. Western Sydney and the Central Coast Mariners. Every other game has been tight for the majority.
Kelly-Heald gets it through to Barbarouses. He finds Kraev, little 1-2. Here's Bojidar Kraev, tight angle! Across the face of goal from Bojidar Kraev, the gritted teeth from the man in the 49 jersey today, inches away from perhaps doubling Wellington's lead.
Well, he's so awkward, but does brilliantly in tight spaces. And Bojidar Kraev found by Barbarouses and could not find Hewitt Bell's back post. Oh, the anguish. Looking to add to his tally this season.
Yeah, 5 already for Criev. Not far away from making it 6. We're told there'll be a minimum of just the 1 extra minute added at the end of the 45 here. David Ball using the wind there, not able to find Tim Payne.
Seems to be really holding up on that far side. No, we make this point regularly when it is windy in Wellington, but because of the bowl nature of the stadium, the wind swirls. So it could be doing one thing in one corner and then the exact opposite down the other end.
Just caught a glimpse there of 4th official Jack Morgan holding up the board with 1 extra minute. Lucas Kelly-Hill, meantime, has gone down with a bang to the right shin.
Italiano won't want to see that. Lucas Kelly-Hill's alternate Sam Sutton, of course, out for a lengthy period with his own injury.
As he looks along his bench, there's no obvious replacement there at left back. I guess Matthew Sheridan is probably the most like for like.
That's not helpful from Rufer. After Sermon stepped out of the line with composure. Pressure's created by the Wellington Phoenix's captain.
In the referee's hands now, with the 1 extra minute having elapsed. And Adam Babkar decides that there'll be no more in the first half here in windy Wellington today. An early strike from Nico Pennington had the fans out of their seats. But since then, it's been a bit of cat and mouse. Counter, thrust and thrust between these two sides and no further goal-scoring action. As we go to the break here at Sky Stadium. Half-time score, Wellington Phoenix 1, Western United 0.
No, my Hawkeye, my welcome back into a cold and windy Wellington for this round 16 clash in the A-League men's. Wellington Phoenix 1 over Western United 0. It's I'm trying to thaw out Paul Eiffel, who's stood for 45 minutes on the sideline. Mate, watching on, the Phoenix, they went up 1-0 early, but how happy would Giancarlo Italiano, the head coach of the Wellington Phoenix, be at half-time?
Yeah, look, I think he's pretty happy. He'd probably rather be 2 or 3 up. I think they've been good value for their lead, but is there going to be any danger from Western? I'm not so sure. I think if they can get a goal early second half, I think they can see this out pretty comfortably.
Well, Western did grow into the first half, and when Lockie Wales switched sides, do you think they had more joy between himself and Roos and Risdon?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think everything was in front. There was nothing in behind. I think they can defend the crosses that are allowing to come in. And I don't think Chiefy will be too bothered by that. I don't think Western have got that playmaker. Maybe Pena, if he can get on the ball a little bit more, but I don't think they've got anybody who's going to unlock that defence or play those slide rule through balls that they're going to need.
The Wellington Phoenix crowd didn't have to wait long for the goal scorers to be, I guess, showing themselves. This was a wonderful sweeping move that started out wide right, and then very unselfish bit of play from Bojidar Kraev at the back stick, Paul.
I think it was 5 one-touch passes, if you actually look at it back. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5. There you go. And Pennington's made a really good near-post run. Didn't quite get on the back of it, but he stayed in there. He stayed alert, which is what I really like. I'm not sure that was a pass from Kraev or it was a shot, but it ended up being a great assist.
Yeah, and Pennington becomes the 7th goal scorer for the Wellington Phoenix this A-League season, back from his suspension after 5 yellows. As we take a look at the first half stats, and they should be heavily in favour of the black and yellow home side. Not many shots on goal from either side, but look at the possession that the Phoenix have had, Ifey.
Yeah, like I said, pretty comfy in the ball. The press hasn't really worked for Western, so the Phoenix are able to play through that, advance up the pitch, and like I said, you know, looking after the ball really well. It's the touches in the opponent's box as well, 12 against 1. That has to change for Western, and they're not going to give it against the game.
Yeah, as we take a look at some of the Wellington Phoenix chances in the first 45, and they're attacking a really inexperienced back four. Remember, no Tomoki Imai, there's no Jacob Tratt, so you're looking at the likes of Vidmar Donaghy in his first appearance for Western United, and the Knicks are really stretching them, I think.
Yeah, look, I think Costa Barbarousse has been class today. The runs he's made, he hasn't got too much off the back of them, but he's picking up those blindside positions, which I love. His finishing has not been great, but I expect him to get chances again second half if his movement is as good. Can he go for another 45 minutes at that kind of pace? I think he's been great so far.
Yeah, I totally agree. Costa's been wonderful, but who's been equal to Costa Barbarousse? It's the youngster, Kane Vidmar. Not once, not twice, but 3 times he's thwarted Costa in front of goal.
Yeah, see, it's funny. Actually, the positioning of Kane Vidmar's not been great. So Costa's been able to get on the wrong side of him, get him behind, but he's very, very quick, and that's getting him out of trouble. If he can actually work on his positioning, he's going to be some player.
Daniel Pena is one of the most dangerous players for Western United, and you can see throughout the course of the first half, he's doing everything in his power to try and influence this game. He's not just staying up top, Ifey, he's dropping deep and trying to take this game by the scruff of the neck, isn't he?
Yeah, look, which is great, which is exactly what Western need. He needs it to drag a couple with him, because I think at the moment he's the only one who's got that bit between his teeth. You know, he doesn't mind putting his foot in. He's happy to go and get on the ball in those tight spaces, but he's trying to find someone to link with. I think we said in the pre-game, 66, 67 shots now it's going to be after that first half, and nothing much to show for it.
All right, tell us, did Alex Paulson get fingers on that? Is that a goalkeeper's save, or did he just cannon that one into the crossbar, Pena.
I thought he got a fingertip on that. I thought he got a fingertip, and I think you could see that's why Western reacted the way they did.
Hey, be honest, what did you think? Was it like Diamante time? He was in Alessandro territory from November 2022. Oh, I was thinking, geez, he's going to score this one.
I was worried, but he's gone for the power rather than the finesse that Diamante did.
Yeah, it's windy down here. I don't know if you can tell by the rocking of this desk, but the second half is coming your way regardless from windy Wellington on this Saturday afternoon, evening into the night. Phoenix with a 1-0 lead over Western United. They hang on to this. They go 5 points clear at the top of the A-League men's competition. Second half up next, live on Sky Sport.
Time here at Sky Stadium. Nicholas Pennington's 3rd-minute goal, and the Phoenix fans singing nice and early, set up by Bojidar Kroyev. Very happy Wellington fans there. That's all they've had to cheer about really though in the first half, as Western United have found their way back into this game, not with a goal perhaps, but certainly with their share of possession. The percentage of possession continues to grow. John Aloisi will be at least encouraged by that. Wellington Phoenix have a brand new signing who will, they hope, be unveiled on the playing pitch anyway against MacArthur next weekend. Houston Salas, the Costa Rican international, introduced to the fans, already endearing himself with the yellow cornrows in his hair. I think that's what they're called, Jacob, cornrows?
I think you're right, Piney. And then we see him again enjoying himself with a couple of young fans, and head of football for the Wellington Phoenix, Sean Gill, in attendance. I think a very smart signing. Provides necessary cover for Alex Rufer, who had his value to the side confirmed on the back of that suspension. His absence was key up against Brisbane last weekend.
Giancarlo Italiano was asked at the media conference yesterday what Houston Salas's best position is, and he said, well, he can play anywhere. That's why we signed him. Maybe he's stretching the point a bit, but he has played it right back for the national team and in that defensive midfield role that you outlined.
I think if the Phoenix are going to keep chasing silverware and they want to maintain their position at the top of the table, that sort of ambition is a prerequisite. It's also a vote of confidence in what this squad and what Giancarlo Italiano are doing. The ownership have said, we see the opportunity, we want to seize the moment.
Giancarlo Italiano and his assistant coach Adam Griffiths making their way back to the benches. He's been a great acquisition, as you've mentioned a number of times, Jacob. Adam Griffiths looking after the defensive shape of Wellington Phoenix, and 18 goals in 16 games is certainly a good indication that they've got that close to right. Already 6 clean sheets this season for the Phoenix. That's more than they kept in the entire season last season and the 3 before that.
And that's the key stat. Keeping teams out in 6 games so far this season. Speaks to the value that Adam Griffiths brings.
No changes for either side. Second half is underway. Wellington Phoenix in the yellow strip today, heading down towards the southern end of Sky Stadium. That's where the Yellow Fever are. They'll have the wind behind them. In theory, it is a northerly blowing at their backs, but as we mentioned a few times, it does tend to swirl around inside the bowl here at Sky Stadium. Western United in the black and green, heading back towards the northern end of Sky Stadium. They may well take advantage of the wind that is blowing in their faces in terms of lifting a pass up into that wind and having it hold up, as Wellington did a couple of times in the first half.
If we just look at the manner in which goals have been conceded by Western United, quarter have come after the start or the restart. Slow starters, the men in black and green today.
Alex Paulson confidently brings it out past Michael Roos and feeds Pennington. Kelly Heald strides into midfield. Krayev.
Wellington Phoenix cannot let comfortability slip into complacency. From winning positions, they have gone on to secure 3 points on 75% of occasions. 2 other times draws.
Nice passing move. Here's Pennington. Rebounds and it's gone in. That is an own goal. I'm almost certain that'll go down as an own goal off Vidmar, who has been excellent up to this point. Nico Pennington was the last Wellington player to hit that with his head, but I think that's rebounded in off Vidmar. We'll find out. 2-0 is the score regardless.
Well, 2 minutes into the game, Nico Pennington found the back of the net. 2 minutes into the second half. If he hasn't scored, then he's had a big hand in ensuring that the Phoenix find themselves 2-0 up. Tim Payne, delightful ball in. Nico Pennington in off Donaghy. Past Hewitt Bell. They won't care. Giancarlo Italiano won't care. The margin is now 2.
Yeah, it was an own goal. They got the player wrong. Apologies to Vidmar. It is James Donaghy on his Western United debut, who has diverted the ball past Tom Hewitt-Bell. Nico Pennington, as you say, was crucial to the scoring of the goal, but it'll go down as an own goal, and there's further problems for Western United, and that Kane Vidmar is receiving attention. He's back on his feet, which is good news. Well, at the start of the first half, Paul Eiffel, there was a goal. At the start of the second half, another one for Wellington. I know there's no bad time to score, but straight after the start of a game in either half is probably as good a time as any.
Oh, look, you want a good start. You want a good start to the game. You want to come out after the break, and Chiefy must have said the right things because they've started very well there. It's a great ball in, really well attacked by Pennington. Definitely wasn't going in, but I'm sure he'll claim that as his second.
10 goals in the first 15 minutes after the start or restart. It is a remarkable stat, and it speaks to the point that John Eloise was labouring. They've been good for large parts, Western United, but in moments they've been undone. And for me, this is all about the ball. That's what undoes them here.
There's no way Nico Pennington can claim that, Ivy. That's headed back out towards where it came.
If he is a striker, Piney, he will definitely claim that.
Ivy, that's got more chance of finding you than finding the back of the net.
Doesn't matter. Right place, right time.
Wellington with the wind in their sails. Kraev feeds Kelly, healed. Barbarousis in the area. First time ball in towards Costa. Vidmar's back out there, which is good news. But he can't prevent the corner, or can he? He might just have.
Suggestion of a handball. Kane Vidmar might have a nightmare of a start to the second half. Let's have a look. Sensible ball from Kraev. Nothing going on. And that angle is inconclusive. I think that's come off the chest. Unfortunately for Kane Vidmar, it was right in front of the Yellow Fever, who were baying for another opportunity to score.
Chris Griffiths-Jones is in the VAR booth. He's cleared it. I think that's absolutely the right decision. As you say, Jack, that's hit him on the chest. Wellington, though, come again. Thurgate trying to take it away from any potential danger.
Well, the perseverance will be tested here. Western United coming to Wellington, facing not only the team perched on top of the table, but also the conditions that have been made famous whilst the side has been in the A-League. They're up against Wellington, the wind. I just have to hope that the rain stays away at the moment.
There is a bit of rain in the forecast, but not till later in the evening. Still a large part of the ground here bathed in some late afternoon, early evening sunshine. Noel Tay is in the battles again and wins the ball for Wellington. Gets it back from ball. Wellington crowd enjoying themselves. That one holds up in the wind, oddly enough, because the wind's behind Wellington. Tim Payne pulls it back. It's good. Costa Barbarousis, no way through there for Costa. Example there of the swirling breeze. Normally a northerly would carry that into the advertising hoardings, but it held it up inside Sky Stadium. There's no way of knowing what the wind might do.
Of course, the advantage is with the Wellington Phoenix, who are used to these sorts of conditions. Every pre-season, pretty much wind of this strength. Western, more of a novelty. Have to adjust in real time.
So I guess belief becomes a bit of an issue now for Western United when you're down on your luck and things aren't going your way, and you've been the recipient of an own goal and it's windy and all a bit annoying away from home. Will they have the belief that they can come back from 2-0 down? They did it last week. They came back from 2-0 down against Sydney FC. Can they repeat the dose today?
They've persevered throughout the course of the season, and you're right, they're chasing respectability. Adrift at the bottom of the table at the moment. They've shown huge amounts of stoicism. Composure of Aloisi being tested. But you're right, Tony, it's the belief of the players that's key now. 40-odd minutes left in this game, and the Phoenix are starting to catch a bit of a rhythm.
Latest would-be attack broken up there by Western United. How about it's rebounded to Kryev? It's often the way when things aren't going your way. Those little rebounds tend to fall to opposition players rather than your own. Scott Witten drives one towards Costa Barbarouses and drops it onto his right foot. Well brought down by Costa. Looking for help, Costa Barbarouses. Found Kryev. Kryev shot straight at Hewitt Bell. That's a good save from Tom Hewitt Bell. I don't think that pass was actually meant for Božidar Kryev, but he took it on, the Bulgarian. Forced a good save out of Hewitt Bell.
They find himself in a position of danger. It's not where Western United want to see Božidar Kryev, and that is creeping inside the post. Good save from the Western United #1.
First corner of the afternoon for Wellington. Their 61st of the season without any goals from them. And you can see the win now. Look at that, whipping past the corner flag. Nico Pennington's dispensed with the flag, as I'm not interested in that.
This might be an in-swinger.
Nico Pennington's been told to put the flag back. No, he hasn't. The ball won't stay still by itself. That's another issue he's got to contend with. And Adam Bavkar wants the corner flag back. You can tell by his sign language there, he wants the flag back in. Equipment restored to its rightful position. Drifted in by Pennington. Wooten back across the 6-yard area. Away by Donaghy, but not very far. Still there. And that'll be another corner. So Scott Wooten making his presence felt.
There's been a regular nuisance on the back post of opponents. Gets up high, puts that into a great spot, and no one in a yellow shirt is there to get the knock-in.
So Nico Pennington is on corner duty on both sides.
You love Wellington.
Pennington, if one holds up in the breeze. David Ball and Scott Witten are there. It's Thurgate who gets it away, but only as far as Rufer. He gets away from one defender. And a second into the area. Frees up Tim Payne. I think it might have been Costa Barbarouses on the edge, was it? Yes, it was Costa.
A good play from the Wellington Phoenix captain. Finds the man who's desperate on another goal. We heard All White's coach, Darren Basie, talking glowing terms about the form that Costa Barbarouses has found this season. With the W Cup coming up in March, you'll want to continue being in and amongst the goals.
Pasquale finds Thurgate with a nice pass. And behind by Wooten, Western United are about to make a change. Whether they'll wait for this corner or they'll make it now. Just keeping eyes on the fourth official. I think they're going to wait for the corner to be taken. It's going to be a debut on his 20th birthday for Charbel Shamoun. Special moment coming up for him.
And right at the other end of the experience spectrum, looks like Nikita Rukavitska is coming on.
David Ball on the receiving end on the far side. Free kick. And we are going to see that double change.
Sounds like it might be Zalewski coming off. Change just been delayed at this point.
I think they're just waiting for Rukovicia because you only get 3 opportunities, don't you? So you need to bring the 2 players on at the same time. And Rukovicia, you can see bottom of screen, is still in discussion with Hayden Fox there. So they're not quite ready. So Wellington break forward again through Kelly Heald. 4 yellow shirts to aim at. Instead he gives it back to Pennington, who tries to return the favour.
Well, Phoenix will be thankful for that bobble in midfield because Western had 4 players ready to pounce. Unfortunately, it didn't fall to a man in green and black.
Right, the changes are going to come now. On his 20th birthday, Charbel Shamoun, the under-20 Iraqi international, makes his way on, and 36-year-old Nikita Rukovicia, the former Socceroo, is also into the action for Noah Botic. It's Lizolajski who's made way for Shamoun. Ute gets the better of his opposition defence. He's been very, very good today, Mo Ute, doing a lot of the unseen stuff, but a welcome re-addition. Ben Old's going to enter the action as well, and we're told it's going to be for the skipper, Alex Rufer. Here is Charbel Shamoun on debut, as I say, on his 20th birthday. He's been in and around the A-League men's side while starring for the NPL senior side. Great to see him have a special moment. And as mentioned, Ben Old into the action. And it will be Alex Rufer who makes way. He hands the captain's armband to Scott Wootton and takes his leave. What do you make of Alex Rufer coming off on the hour mark, Paul Eiffel?
I can only think it's a knock. I think he's been class. He's done. You talked about Mohamed Ute doing a lot of the bits that you don't see, but I think Ruper's done so much. You look at the last counter-attack. He was there, 3 bodies around him. He gets a toe in. He's got so many toes into little bits and pieces that you don't normally notice. I think he's been class today. So watch out and see if Western can get themselves back in the game. Hopefully Ben Old will take over further up the pitch, and you'll see Nico Pennington go back into Ruper's position for him.
Thanks, I think. Wellington almost playing their way into a bit of trouble at the back there, but they do scramble it away. First chance to get involved for Ben Old, and his pass, he's just got to get used to the wind out there. Ben Old. Here come Western through Lockie Wales. Tried to line up a shot but couldn't get it away. Ben Old brings it away. Angus Thurgate is tracking back effectively for Western United. An hour gone in Wellington. Changes from both sides. How will that change the dynamic of this game? Here's Risdon across the 6-yard area, and Alex Paulson picks it up. Risdon's come across to the left-hand side, I guess, to allow Shamoun to slot in at right back. So Josh Risdon is a left back now.
Just turning to that Charbel Shamoun introduction. Does represent an overhaul of this Western United squad. One of the older sides in the A-League for the last couple of seasons. Very much being converted at the moment. A focus on bringing in younger players and a youthful exuberance.
Here's Pena. He's going to line one up from a long way out. Always up and over Alex Paulson's crossbar from Daniel Pena.
He hasn't been shy of a shot this afternoon. This one started from all of around about 25 yards out. Trying to profit off the breezy conditions here in Wellington, but doesn't challenge Alex Paulson at all.
And you mentioned his penchant for shooting in the first half. Only Joe Lolly from Sydney FC has taken more shots at goal than Daniel Pena this season.
I know you're multilingual.
Wellington looking to impose themselves on this game as we head into the final half hour. Barbarouses has dragged Vidmar out. Kelly Heald and Old, two of the academy products. And there are plenty of them in this Wellington Phoenix matchday squad again. Kryev decides on a different approach. Brings Payne in.
I think we get a moment. We might send Paul Eiffel for warm-up and find out what happened with Alex Rufer. Not quite sure there was an injury. At least it wasn't apparent from the way he left the field. Regardless, the Wellington Phoenix very much in control at the moment.
Kelly Heald and Old not quite on the same wavelength, and Vidmar will let that one roll behind for a goal kick. The Phoenix have had 3 games in 8 days, but Alex Rufer didn't play the first of those, did he? He was suspended, so it's not as though he's been overworked. There is the skipper watching on from the bench now. We'll try and get a steer on exactly what has happened there, whether it was tactical or whether Alex Rufer has taken a knock of some sort. In the meantime, Western United looking for a way back.
Of course, the other option here is that Giancarlo Italiano has decided that he wants to trial something, happy with the way in which his side is playing, and with the margin that they do have, it's time to test something in the last 35 odd minutes.
So a bit of in-game experimentation, you're suggesting. Here's Costa Barbarouses looking for goal number 9 this season. Costa slides it in past Payne. It's there for Ben Old. The substitute can't find room for a shot. Kelly Heald can't either, but he might get on the end of this. No, he won't. As Shamoun does well, passes his first defensive assignment, the debutant. Pena and Wales in midfield. Tim Payne with a robust challenge. Free kick given.
Lockie Wales is asking for a sterner reprimand of Tim Payne, and Tim Payne quite confused about why the free kick was given.
As they have done most of the afternoon. Western United don't set up, they take it quickly. Risden into the back of El Tay. Away by Kelly Heald, but only half away. Headed back in, it's bouncing around in the penalty area. This time Kelly Heald's header is a bit more robust. Pasquale. Pena in Thurgate. Daniel Pena. Couldn't quite get the ball back from Rukovicia. Nikita Rukovicia still looking for that first goal of the season. It's been away for a while. Last 8 years in Israel. Back in Australia, Nikita Rukovicia in the penalty arc at the moment, waiting for a bit of delivery perhaps. Here's Roos into the area. It might come now, but it's behind him.
Oh, there were 3 or 4 green and black shirts in the 18-yard box, but that ball didn't find anybody.
Wellington haven't been able to clear this. It's with Pena on his right foot, which isn't the stronger, but he still fashioned a shot and got the rebound. Shamoun. Pasquale. Pena again. Sermon wins the header. Rather hits Pennington, and then it's belted away upfield by Kryev.
Kryev clears his lines, gives his team some time to reset. Talked about the defensive discipline that's being instilled into the side by Adam Griffiths. He would not be happy about the manner of that chance. Uncle Roos waltzed into the 18-yard box unchallenged. There's time and space for a number of Western United players to find the back of the net off what was a pretty decent cross. It just didn't find anyone, though, Tiny.
A goal here would really set us up. Western United looking to find one. Thurgate tried to feed Risdon with the second part of the 1-2, couldn't. But Josh Risdon's done well to keep that in, has he? That flag stays down from Mark Rule. Here's Roos. Thurgate towards the far post, and just a bit too much on it from Angus Thurgate. But Western United are starting to ask a few questions.
That's a good ball in from Risdon, and that touch from Thurgate, I believe, in and amongst the Wellington Phoenix defence, but then cannot find Rukavitzia. And Charbel hadn't gambled on the back post. Shamoon, sorry.
Second sub coming for Wellington. Finn Conchie is about to make his entrance. Moel Tay, the man to be replaced. And that change will come now. Mohamed El Tay, excellent shift. So both he and Rufa are now out of action. Conchie on for Wellington. His 7th A-League men's appearance and second in succession. Finn Conchie, he came off the bench the other day against the Mariners.
Seems to be managing minutes for Mohamed El Tay. Has played well today, but wasn't in the matchday squad against the Mariners.
Shamoon going deep into Wellington's penalty area. Pasquale picks up the scraps and finds Pena. Rukavitzia. Pena. Blocked by Pennington, but not away. He's been old, and but Wellington have defused this particular situation. David Ball's off after this one and might get there ahead of Donaghy. He does. And it's likely to be a yellow card, I would imagine, for James Donaghy. I think he understands and totally accepts the sanction coming his way.
Well, I appreciate that there's only the barest of margins in this, but the contact with David Ball is high. No malice in that one from James Donaghy, but he got it wrong as soon as David Ball got the touch in front of him.
"20 minutes to go in Wellington. A couple of subs coming for Western United. So Rami Najjarine into the action, and Reece Bozanovsky as well. Michael Roos making his way off for Najjarine. And Seb Pasquale as well for Rami Najjarine. Here is Reece Bozanovsky, the 19-year-old. Game number 21 for him. As John Aloisi rolls the subs. Here's Risdon. Can he inspire his team forward? There's confirmation of the yellow card for James Donaghy on his Western United debut. Conchie finds Ball. The Englishman does well to retain possession under pressure from Bozanovsky. Grayev will recycle Wellington. Cryer puts it forward for a marauding Tim Payne. He does pull it back. Western can't clear. Ball sets up Old. David Ball again. He finds room for a shot, David Ball. He thought that goal drought might be coming to an end as that one left his right boot.
Oh, the chance finally came. David Ball finds himself on the edge of the area. Tim Payne puts it into a dangerous spot, and then Western make a meal of it. Falls to Old, back to ball, and then tries to finesse this one into the top corner, not far away.
The visitors come again, and again it's Pena who's at the heart of their attacking moves. Wellington settle into a low block as Western United have to make all the running at 2-0 down. Nice little touch by Pena. Shamoun and Bozanovski, two of the subs. Now Vidmar. A lot of youngsters out there now for Western United. John Eloisi said pre-game, our depth has been tested, but it's a chance to give some young players A-League men's minutes. Wales gives it back to Najeri. Risdon. So something at the end of all of this for Western United. Wales. Thurgate. Pena lifts it forward towards Wales. Paulson's there.
Well, that's what Pena can do, and he's been trying to find one of his dangerous teammates. None more so than Lockie Wales. Great run through the middle of the Wellington Phoenix defence, but Alex Paulson on his toes. It is noticeable, Jason, that since Mohamed El-Tay and Alex Rufer have gone off, the Phoenix have lost some of their cut and thrust defensively. They're not being able to disrupt Western United as much. There's a little bit of pressure that's starting to build.
And continues to through Pena, inevitably. Najeri, good tackle by Pennington. No, it wasn't a foul. So free kick situation for Western United. Is this their way back in?
Daniel Pena skips past a couple. Then Alex Paulson tries to get the ball. Ends up collecting Remy Najeri. This is a dangerous spot. That's an interesting statistic. 38% of West United's goals have been scored after the 76th minute.
Which we are approaching. Pena seems most likely, given his free kick in the first half that crashed off the crossbar. Lockie Wales, though, with his right foot, may fancy one up and over and into the top left-hand corner as he looks.
There's a lot of traffic in front of that man, Alex Paulson, as well.
Great opportunity for the visitors to reduce the deficit. Wales leaves it. It's Pena! And the wall does its job. There was a collective holding of breath around Sky Stadium as that one rebounded, but rebounded wide of Alex Paulson's goal frame. Western United get going quickly. Najeri. Pena, still full of energy and ideas. Wellington just struggling for the meantime to get the ball, but now they've got the chance for a fast break with Barbarouses and Old forward. On the far side, ball. Ben Old's been forced into a cul-de-sac and poked behind by Shamoun, who did well to force the corner.
He took up a great early position. Managed to cover that one with a lot of confidence. Costa Barbarouses has looked up. Maybe he was thinking about David Ball at the back post. Found Ben Old. Marshalled well by Shamoun. And it wasn't the wall. Looked like it might have been Ben Old there. Daniel Pena going the goalkeeper's side, trying to drive that one at Alex Paulson.
Once again, Nicholas Pennington just having a bit of trouble with the football and staying where it is. While it's stationary, you should take the kick, Nico, is what they're saying. Up into the Wellington wind it goes. Away by Rooston. Scott Wooden's going to keep it in. Ben Old just plants it back in. Good defensive clearance by Donaghy.
They needed to get that one away.
They're struggling to at the moment. David Ball and Thurgate. Clever from David Ball. Back towards Sermon.
A lovely, lovely feat from David Ball. Manufactured that chance to get the ball across the Western United goal, and Finn Simmons trying to guide it into the back post. Well, he hasn't had reward, but he hasn't stopped either, David Ball.
Yeah, as Ike said in the first half, sometimes you just have to do other things rather than score goals, and his contribution, Ike, has been eye-catching again, David Ball.
Yeah, look, he always works hard. You know, that's an absolute given, but I think he's been great, picking up the bits, linking up the play, and again, great feet down the side. There's a great ball to Finn, and I think Finn probably will expect to hit the target from there.
Kelly Heel goes down the line to David Ball, who was again a willing recipient. Talk about his link-up play, and he's done it superbly today. Conchi. This is the first of A-League men's quadruple header today. To follow, Melbourne victory, MacArthur at Amy Park, Brisbane Roar at Melbourne City at Suncorp, the Mariners and Sydney FC in Gosford. Western Sydney against Newcastle tomorrow at Combank. Sorry, Jacob.
For the Kiwi fans in particular, but also those of west of Sydney origin. Tommy Smith, the new signing, has travelled to Melbourne today.
A frustration on the face there of Costa Barbarouses. David Ball wins that fairly, and now it's 5-on-4 at the back for Wellington. Ben Old towards the far post where Barbarouses gets it back across the 6-yard area. Nobody can finish for Wellington.
Well, the tide might be turning. Western United had the pressure, but the Wellington Phoenix are starting to respond. The desperation that Western are playing with is meaning that there are gaps.
Ben Old is again providing the impact that he has all season, this time off the bench. Here's Pennington. David Ball into the path of Nico Pennington. He couldn't finish with his left foot. Heward Bell on trouble.
Kane Vidmar again with the intervention.
As Nico Pennington nurses a sore ankle, a number of those around the ground disrobe. 80 minutes gone, Phoenix ahead. Shirts are off in one of the A-League's oldest traditions.
Great bravery on display there from the Yellow Fever.
Oscar Van Hatten is standing by to enter the fray. We're told David Ball is the man to be replaced. Still Western United go in search of their opening goal of this game as we go into the final 10 minutes. Briston. Nazarene into Lockie Wales. Sliding challenge from Bajadar Krive, and he immediately gets up and points to his chest as if there might have been a suggestion of an arm on that one.
Well, Lockie Wales was interested in it.
VAR will obviously check this. Let's have a look.
Krive on the stretch. And for mine, as was the case with Vidmar in the first half, that one comes off the chest. Looks like a change in substitution for the Wellington Phoenix. Young Hughes is coming on. It looks like Nico Pennington is coming off. Hobbling off past Alex Paulson. Just off camera at the moment.
Yeah, Isaac Hughes into the action. So perhaps a little concern there for Wellington with Nico Pennington taking his leave. Kozanovsky and Najarine just playing the ball to one another at the moment. Now into Wales. Still there for Western United. Looking for some sort of opening. Shamoun. Keeps going, Shamoun. Matthew Grimaldi also into the action for Angus Thurgate as John Aloisi plays his final card. So confirmation that David Ball will stay on the pitch, has stayed on the pitch.
Looks like the Phoenix have switched to their back three or five, however you want to look at it. Giancarlo Italiano confident that the Phoenix will keep what they've got at the moment. At the moment, of the two games, John Aloisi has seen 3 goals conceded and none scored.
Wellington now just keen to see the game out, although I'm sure they would love a third. Isaac Hughes can't get that one away. Scott Witten helps out. It's Grimaldi. Kozanovsky, now Pena. Kozanovsky again. And Najarine just not quite able to get a foot on it.
They've been enjoying themselves. It's scarcity in terms of home matches. The Wellington Phoenix, the side that have played the least amount of home games so far this season. But he'll be liking what he's seeing, Tony.
Yeah, Houston Salas watching on with operations manager Jake Piper alongside. No better way to impress a new signing than to win the first football match that they're witness to. He'll be available for the trip to Macarthur. There's Wellington's next assignment next Sunday. They'll head to Campbelltown to take on Macarthur. Western United host Newcastle on Friday night, so a shorter turnaround for them. Still they come. Shamoun. Pena.
They haven't stopped, but it's not clicking. Haven't tested Alex Paulson with regularity so far this afternoon. They've moved and jabbed the Wellington Phoenix around, but haven't been able to land a significant punch.
Can they now? And towards the 6-yard area, but over the top of Josh Risdon. Climbing high, seeking just a 7th A-League men's goal.
Just seems as though Western haven't got that central figure to orbit around.
So away games at Macarthur, then Perth, back home against Adelaide United, away to Melbourne City and home to Sydney FC. That game is in Auckland, the round 21 clash. As Ufuk Talay makes a trip across the Tasman to face his former side.
A bit of retribution on the mind for that Sydney fixture as well. One of only 2 losses this season for the Wellington Phoenix.
So if Wellington can hold this lead, and as time ticks away, it seems more and more likely that they will. They'll go to 33 points, 5 clear of the Mariners, 6 clear of Melbourne Victory. Both of those teams play later tonight. But a 5-point lead at the top of the A-League men's ladder after 17 of 27 games is something that most Phoenix fans couldn't possibly have hoped for or even dreamed of.
Absolutely is psychologically significant. It means that the Phoenix cannot be caught this round. There's clear air between them and everybody else, and then I think to really drive the nail home, I think checked it, but I think it's 13 points down to 7th. So in terms of those playoff spots, the Wellington Phoenix can have half an eye on preparing for what they'll hope will be a home playoff game.
Still a little bit of defending to do before this one is closed out. Wellington have settled into their deep block. That's gone out from the boot of Tim Payne. For Western United, they all stay adrift of the rest. 8 points from 15 games will be their tally.
I don't think it gets any easier there. Well, they are 8 points adrift. They've got 2 catch-up games, but one of those is against Melbourne Victory. Currently the side in second.
Lachie Wales lines up this latest corner. 90 seconds to go, plus stoppages. Donaghy thought about it. Thought better of it.
Other point to note, Jason, would be that this would be the Phoenix's 7th clean sheet of the season. Now puts them above Central Coast Mariners, who they were tied with at the start of the afternoon with 6.
Yeah, Western Sydney with 7, so they draw level with Western Sydney, who are the best defensive team by that metric in the competition. Now Risdon. A late chance for Western United skipper Josh Risdon. He had a pretty good look at it too.
Bundling his way through the middle of the field, I think it's Bozanovsky. And Risdon, that time finding favour with being a right-footed player on the left-hand side, had a clean run at it, but only found Alex Paulson.
Just the second shot on target in 90 minutes for Western United. Risdon gives David Ball a shove in the back. An extra 4 minutes minimum to be added, we're told, at the end of this one.
They're enjoying themselves. 2 home games in a week for the Yellow Fever.
There's the live ladder. As you can see, the 5-point gap that Wellington Phoenix will open with victory here. It might not have been the prettiest game in the world. Probably one performance they won't look back on and say, well, we were excellent today, but the 3 points and the score at top left is all that matters. Confirmation of the 4 added minutes minimum. Pena drives it forward, finds Wales. He can't find Rukovitsia, who gives the thumbs up for the intent. You have to give it to players like Wales and Risdon and everybody, really. They haven't given up, Western United. They could easily have dropped their heads, but the body language has remained positive as they've tried in vain to find a way back into this game. David Ball still running in the 91st minute.
Just submit my apology to Mariners fans. They, of course, are second at the moment. Victory third.
I wonder whether you might be predicting a victory win over MacArthur next up, Jacob, there. Getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Paulson will be untroubled by that one and will soak up a few extra seconds. Final few words from you, Paul Eiffel, before the official post-match. How satisfied will Giancarlo Italiano be with the performance this afternoon?
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. It's not the greatest performance I've ever seen, but I think they've managed the game very well. It's not been easy in these conditions, and I think they've been pretty comfortable, able to get players off. Obviously, there's a slight concern to Nico Pennington. Hopefully he's okay, but I think all in all, he'll be very pleased.
Join Paul Eiffel, Jacob Spoonley, Goran Paladin in our post-match. Giancarlo Italiano will sidle up to the panel as well and give us his thoughts. Final piece of attacking impetus for Western United. David Ball draws another foul, and those shin pads of his will be well marked. when he takes them off a bit later.
Well, he's just written a check that Liss is now going to have to cash Piney. Of course, I'd love to have Giancarlo Italiano as part of our post-match coverage. Always provides insightful comment, very honest. Have to ask him about his shirts. Which one's been sacrificed?
Well, another one that he can store safely away. They're just catching up with this. Giancarlo Italiano throws out shirts that he wears after Phoenix losses. He can keep that one for another day.
Also throws out pre-match interviewers, Piney. They got sacrificed after the Newcastle game. Jason Pine continued interviews going forward from that point.
I'm not sure that's superstition more than quality, but the fact remains. Into the final minute here in Wellington.
On that note, I'm leaving. Down to the sideline.
All getting a bit messy in the Wellington wind as we count into the final 30 seconds or so. Is there one more chance for Wellington to put a cherry on top here? Old drifts it forward. Barbaristas is there. Hewitt Bell, no problem for him. Alex Paulson just found his way into Adam Bavkar's notebook in the last minute or so for a bit of time wasting, so a yellow card for Alex Paulson. Final few seconds ticking down at Sky Stadium. Wellington Phoenix Football Club go 5 points clear at the top of the A-League men's ladder. Scarcely believable given pre-season predictions, but this team has fought hard in the Wellington win to the delight of their fans and seen off yet another adversary here on the grass in Wellington. 7 games unbeaten to start the calendar year, 5 points clear at the top. Nicholas Pennington opening the scoring early in the game and heavily involved in the game's second goal just after half-time, with James Donaghy deflecting the ball into his own net in front of the Yellow Fever. 3 more points for Wellington. There's your final score. The Phoenix 2, Western United 0. So, can that fan base really start to believe now? Yes, the Mariners' victory, MacArthur FC, Western Sydney and others will come knocking over the next 10 games or so. But for now, the Phoenix can bank another 3 points. A second win over Western United this season. 3 goals scored and none conceded against their opposition today. And there might not be faces of joy and euphoria, but there is deep satisfaction, I'm sure, among the Wellington Phoenix playing group. Let's go down to Goran Paladin, who has Western United captain Josh Rooston alongside.
Yeah, cheers, Piney, here with Josh. Josh, how disappointed were you with that game? Mainly the way that you started each half to concede so early in each period of time.
Yeah, look, we pride ourselves on starting well. Probably gave them too much respect in the first 5-10 minutes, and yeah, copped the goal. Back into both halves, we dominated. We had some good play, created some good sort of half chances. They're a good side at home. It's always tough coming here, but can't fault the effort from us. We keep going every week, even though the position we're in. So, I mean, that's all we can ask for.
Josh, you got some quality attackers in that final third. What's not gelling up there for you? 15 games into the season and only 13 goals.
Yeah, look, well, up front we've got a lot of young boys, some new players as well. So it takes time to gel. When teams sit back quite deep against us, just the way the game ends up against us. Like I said, we've popped early goals in games, and then teams just sit back against us, and it's just hard to break down. So. In saying that, we still find ways to create chances, just putting them away. And then, just sort of limiting teams to chances at the other end. Just got to cop less goals and put ours away.
Look, I know it's the same for both teams, but Wellington get this every day, every night. How difficult was it to play in this breeze, we'll call it?
Yeah, look, you know, you expect that when you come here. You know, I've played in probably worse conditions here. It wasn't actually too bad today. Same for both teams, you know, we're expecting it, so, you know, you got to deal with it. Yeah, it's just one of those things you got to deal with the circumstances.
Tough luck for today, but all the best for the Jets coming up next week, mate.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
And we'll bring in Alex Rufer, skipper of the victorious Wellington Phoenix. First of all, allay all of our fears. You're off at the hour mark. Was it a knock? Was it tactical? What information can you impart on us?
No, I've been nursing a little niggle during the week, but it's nothing major, just precautionary. So yeah, all good.
What is the niggle?
Oh, just a little knock in training. It's all good though.
Okay, to the game itself, a goal early in each half. What was the message then that motivated you guys to score so early in each of the 45-minute periods?
I think we've really tried to work on starting better. At the start of the season or throughout the season, we've started half slowly. So I think for us, we've really tried to work on starting better, and I think we did that tonight. And in the previous games, we've done that too. So as long as we keep starting like that, we'll finish out games really well.
How tricky was this fixture? Because the last 3 games prior to this one at home, they've all been top of the table clashes. You come in against the team that occupies bottom spot on the A-League ladder. What did that do to the mindset of the squad?
Look, every game's tough. I think the most important thing for us is not to be complacent, and we weren't tonight, so that's the main thing. We got the job done, and that's the most important. But like you said, we've had some really tough games, and you know, just because they're on the bottom doesn't mean that's going to be no different. They're a good team. They've just been struggling to get the win. So it was really important for us to make sure that we started well, and we did that. So that was really good, and I'm really proud of the team.
Look, it's been a tough run of games. You had 5 of 6 that were away, and the only home game was against Victory, a very tough encounter. 3 matches in 8 days. So what does a full week off before you face MacArthur, what does that allow the Wellington Phoenix as a whole?
Oh, look, I think it gives us a lot of time to rest. We've got a few players coming back with niggles. So, look, I think it's really important now that we have a few days to rest. I know that I'll be trying to go fishing, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, look, just to rest the mind as well, I think it's really important that the boys have a few days just to chill out, and then we get back to the training ground and work on some things for MacArthur.
Looking forward to the invite, mate. Enjoy it. You're 5 points clear atop the A-League ladder. Thanks, Alex Rufer, for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right, the Rufer show. It was an hour long, and it was majestic. Great to hear from the skipper of the victorious Wellington Phoenix. 2-0 winners over Western United. We'll break it all down in the post-game show. We'll hear from Nicholas Pennington, goal-scoring hero, and Giancarlo Italiano, the head coach of the Wellington Phoenix. They're 5 points clear atop the A-League.